Hey folks, welcome to the latest horror adventure. My friends are missing, and Whitehair found a paper with weird symbols from a ghost. Meanwhile, back at the base, Lin brewed potions to brainwash Zhang Tai, while Whitey added IQ cream teeming with smart yet tough Blondie. Zhang Tai seems like a headless chicken. They hang around him for superiority. Now injured, they won't take him to the finish line. So it's clear these two need to team up, and Zhang Tai is swayed. To ensure he'll jump into the fire for them when it counts, Lin kicks off his deep breath. The next day, Blondie decides to explore the coast mentioned on the intercom. Who knows, they might find answers. But Zhang Tai and Lin's permits expired tomorrow. So today, they have to join a game, Pretty Boy team, with Zhang Tai and Lin's visas, and 'tis the third in a botanical garden. Upon entering, they see a table piled with cool weapons, beside which are several pairs of goggles. The four put on the goggles according to the instructions, and their faces pop up on the screen. The goggles can identify faces and enable remote chatting. Just as they are confused, their phones alert the game's difficulty. It's a shocking red star 7. Pretty Boy recalls Hatsword's red star manipulates hearts and betrays budders. Unsurprisingly, this game is super hardcore. The game Here Comes the Wolf forces one to be the wolf while 3 sheep hide. Time limit, 15 minutes. Once the time's up, the collars on the sheep's necks will explode. In the end, only one will survive the wolf, and thus the game official. The first wolf cod goes to Zhang Tai, on the brink of collapse, frantically ripping off his collar. Pretty Boy stops him. Forcing off the collar could trigger an instant explosion. Zhang Tai glances at Pretty Boy in despair, switching the wolf card to him. Turns out, their identities swap when wolf and sheep lock eyes. Then suddenly realizes they need to avoid the surviving wolf. He shouts at them, and as they watch, the wolf card shifts to Lin. Grabbing a wolf's head, he dashes into the woods. Blondie reacts first, grabs a machete and chases, while Pretty Boy urges Lin to stay calm. Everyone tries to solve the challenge, but Lin ignores them and trips over a tree in a panic. Blondie catches up. The two former budders clash swords. Blondie yells and swings, but his knife gets stuck in the tree trunk. Lin quickly grabs a rock and knocks Blondie down, but accidentally locks eyes with him, and the wolf card sits back. The situation reverses instantly. Lin chases Blondie, knowing the latter's abdomen injury was bandaged by him. So he keeps hammering at that spot, while Pretty Boy still believes there's a way to crack the game. He calls Blondie, wolf card shifts, turns, and bolts, while Lin brandishes a knife after Pretty Boy. Zhang Tai, injured, helplessly hopes for a miracle. Meanwhile, Pretty Boy dashes through woods, surrounded by Lin and Blondie. Lin's survival instinct is strong. He thinks Pretty Boy doesn't care about life and is a dead weight. Lin thinks if he's going to wallow in misery, he might as well give himself the shot at survival. As he finishes speaking, he swings the knife at Pretty Boy, but Zhang Tai still has betrayed his friends, and Blondie wobbles after them. But due to serious injuries, Pretty Boy can't run fast. He reaches a glass panel, pulls out tools, trying to use the reflection to remove the collar. Unfortunately, it's all in vain. Just as he thinks of using pliers to cut the collar, flashes of the ghost's execution flood his mind, robbing him of his Blondie curses via earpiece, accusing Pretty Boy of just wanting to survive alone. Pretty Boy softly cries, mumbling apologies. It's unclear if he's apologizing for his incompetence or genuinely considering living by himself. He remembers when his brother just got into college, his father praised his brother while he called himself a loser, with no passion for life or responsibility for friends. Maybe aimless existence is the most fatal. At that moment, Blondie's shout abruptly yanks him back to reality, and he realizes with a shock that there are only 5 minutes left. Blondie, too injured, falls, engagement ring dropping out. Compared to Pretty Boy's aimlessness, Blondie genuinely wants a family. Seeing the engagement ring, he recalls his girlfriend saying he always talks about Pretty Boy and Zhang Tai. This shows how much his friends mean to him. Zhang Tai is also struggling against Lin, wanting to survive, but hoping his friends will make it even more. Pretty Boy sinks back into memories of disdain from dad and brother, yet two figures outside always clear his heart. They are the best of friends, sneaking out at night, partying in Tokyo, chatting futures in a bar. As long as the three are together, they are unafraid of anything. When time's up, Pretty Boy realizes the two friends are what he values most, and if they both perish, what's the point of his survival? Pretty Boy finally stands bravely, wants to pass the wolf card, but memories flood back. Not only he is resolved to survive. Zhang Tai keeps Lin's mouth shut, hiding in the woods, while Blondie tries hard to evade Pretty Boy's search, letting him call out their names, and both don't make a sound, just as the rules state. The sheep are quietly hiding, and don't want to be found by the wolf. Time is running out. Lin gives up struggling, desperately hugging Zhang Tai, who whispers, "I'm sorry, Miss Lin." This is too selfish, Pretty Boy thinks, searching for his friends. At the last moment, Blondie appears, turning away. He prevents his friend from handing over the wolf card to him, and calmly makes his ultimate decision. At the very end, both friends indeed pass away, sacrificing their own chances of survival in the final moments with their most sincere buddy. Pretty Boy kneels, filled with despair, helplessness, sadness, and pain, all his emotions exploding into an unstoppable howl, until his voice is utterly hoarse and can't make a sound. 2 days later, Sayome arrives at the park to collect the bunny that stepped into the trap. On her return, she spots a familiar figure Pretty Boy lying there, calmly waiting for his permit to expire and accept death. Sayome respects his decision. Unlike Pretty Boy's self-destructiveness, Sayome cooks, exercises, breathes daily to enrich her life. Before returning to this world, she cooked countless weeks with her father, until one day he was accused of faking his oxygen-less ascent